Hello everyone, this is Candy the 614 Stitcher, and today is Thursday, July the 3rd, 2025, and this is my episode 146. I would like to say hello and welcome to any and all new subscribers. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to see if I can enable you with a project or two. And to all my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I do upload a video. We here in the United States are about to celebrate the 4th of July. I actually have today off, which is July 3rd. Tomorrow is the 4th. So I decided to record a video because it'll be, after this, it'll be probably about 2 weeks before I can record again. I have a busy July planned. And so I just wanted to make sure that I got in a video at the beginning of the month. I would first and foremost like to give my condolences to the family of Minnie Gray. She was a pioneer in the Flosstube community. She was one of the first Black ladies that I saw that actually did cross stitch. I thought for the longest time that I was the only one because I didn't see any other African American women doing cross stitch. And so when I saw a video by her, I was shocked and pleasantly surprised. I considered her a dear friend, and her presence will be lost and missed in this community. So I just wanted to make sure that I passed on my condolences. She was a pioneer. And it was so sad this year that she was not at StitchCon. She had been coming to StitchCon every year since it started. And so for her not to be there this year was very sad. And then with the hearing about her passing was also very sad and shocking to me. So please continue to lift the Gray family up in your prayers if you do so, or send positive thoughts to that family. I would like to also give my June stats for at the beginning of the video. So for the month of June, I had 4 starts. I had 2 finishes. I worked on 11 whips. I stitched for 28 days out of the 30. And I had a total of 9,144 stitches for the month, which I am really surprised by that number. I think one of the contributing factors to that number is me doing the 100 stitch a day. I have, from the past 2 months, the number of stitches that I have done has increased a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's due to the 100 stitches a day. So as I go through my whips, or you'll see my 100 stitch a day project, I put in every day, I put in 100 stitches. If something happens to come up and I can't get in the 100 stitches, then I double up the next day. But it's a way for me to get some projects finished in a more a quicker way, I guess to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's actually working out very well, and I'm using Carolyn Manning right now to do that with. I'm not sure what I'll do going forward once I finish all 4 of these seasons, but it is really going well. So I am going to jump right in. I did not have any starts this week. So we're going to go right into whips. Okay. So the first whip that I would like to show you is my seasons. It's called the Colors of the Season. and I am on the summer one. And here is a picture of what the chart looks like, or the cover photo. I don't have a printer here, and so I have not been able to print out a paper copy of the actual chart. And because I actually have, I'm not for sure if I have a ending photo from the last video that I did. So if I do, it'll be right here. And here is where I am now on it. So as you can see, I have put in, I think I had 2 rows done the last time that I showed this. And now I have dropped down and I'm putting in rows 3 and 4. What I normally do, so far for this, and I actually think I've put in 1,588 stitches. I think that number is not correct, but I didn't update this for the last 3 days. And I have not put in the stitches for today, so I still need to put in the 100 stitches for today. So what I do is, when I am working with a color, so you can see here, I need a board. I need a board. Okay, so as you can see here, what happens is, when I am working on a color, I go to the next color in the line, in the line. And then wherever I can place that color, if I still have thread on my needle, then I bring it down to the next line. And so that's why you see these brought down. The colors on the summer one are very vibrant, and I am loving it. I am stitching this on a 18 count boot camp by Be Stitch Me Fabrics, and I'm using the called for DMC floss on it. So it is my hope to, it's not a hope, it will be, this will be completed by the end, before the autumn. So I have until autumn to finish the summer one. Right now, according to markup, I can finish this by July 21st if I keep up with my 100 stitches a day. So this is a very small project. I'm sure if I choose to do my Carolyn Manning ones, my larger ones, it'll take me a little longer to get the 100, you know, because they're larger. I do have a couple of smaller ones also that I'm going to pull in and see if I can get those also. I like working on a small project for putting in 100 stitches a day. Let me just say it that way. I'm getting spam calls out the wazoo. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting lots and lots of spam calls. So my next whip was actually my whip go call for number 23, and my whip go number 23 was for the letter S. So that meant that I needed to choose a project that started with the letter S by either the designer or the actual chart name. And for my letter S, I chose Self-Love, also known as Damn I'm Beautiful. And here's a picture of what that looks like. I don't have the chart printed out, the cover page printed out for that. And then here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. So I think I already had both these 2 crowns in. I'm not for sure, but I dropped down, and now I'm putting in this border that goes to right about here. I put in 299 stitches on this project for to finish out the whip go for the letter S, the number 23. I am using, this is being stitched on a 46 count Roxy Flosstube cloud break, and I'm gonna have to count this because I don't know that this is actually 46 count. It always bothers me that I do that whole 2-inch thing, but you see how much, so it might be a 46 count. And I'm using a Silks For You autumn pack that was gifted to me by Daybreak Stitcher. So that is where I'm at right now. And it is really, really pretty. I am just using the threads as they come out of the, I'm making sure that I spread the color around for that border. So that is where I am now. And with that, I did complete that Whip Go project. So I'll show you my Whip Go board shortly. For my next project, I do not have a beginning picture for, but it is Love is Love by Jan Hicks Creates. And and this is where I ended up getting to. So I brought down this black even more, and then I'm thinking that's what I did, because I can't remember now if this black was already here or if I added it. But then I added this, the start of this purple band here that goes down. And this is a very intricate design. That added 162 stitches to get to my 200 on this project, and that is all right here. I do need to pull this out more, not just for June for Pride Month, but I need to start pulling it out more so I can get more work in on it. It's larger than what I actually thought it was going to be. I'm stitching this on a 40 count 10 Smith by Color and Cotton, and I'm using the called for DMC. It actually calls for overdyes, but she did put in the DMC conversion for it. Okay, so my next project I worked on, I was a busy little bee this week, this past, I guess, week and a half, was Christmas etchings. I had a lot of projects that I still needed to get my numbers in on. So I'm working on Christmas etchings. And I am doing the bell. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. I need to take this out of the nerd tube. So I added 246 stitches to this project. And that is literally this middle piece of the bell and this whole downside here. And that is where it is. I initially thought that I would restart this and do it over again, but I'm really focusing on where the floss falls, pardon me, and so I am making sure that it will be even on both sides. So I stitch one side and then I'll come back and stitch the other side. So that is where that is for right now. I am stitching this on a 36 count from my 36 count fabric from my stash. I don't know what the name or the dyer is, and I'm using the called for over dyed fabric flosses. For my next whip I worked on was for Kindred Friends, and that is by Heart and Hand. And if you recall, this was my I started this at StitchCon, and here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I have completely added the entire border to the outside. The border was provided to us in a download app from StitchCon. So I put in the entire border, and now when I pick this up again, I can start on the inside, which is what is shown on the chart. I am stitching this on a, I bought it as a kit at StitchCon, so I'm stitching it on a 32 count cookie dough by Needle Bling Design, is it Designs? Nope, it just says Needle Bling. And it I'm using the called for classic color works with it for it. So that is where I am now with it. It was very, the border was really easy to put in. I added 450 stitches to complete that border. So when I pick this up again, which probably, I don't know when it'll be, I'll, you know, start working on the inside of it. It's about to get really interesting because I'll be going back to Ohio, back home. And so I have a lot more whips in my house than I do down here. So I'm gonna have to start planning some of the things that I have been working on to start them, you know, where I'm going to fit them all in when I get back to all of the whips that I still have at my house. So it'll be interesting to see how that all comes about. For the next project I worked on was my Whip Go number 21, which was a W for me, and that is Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where I am now. So I added this other star here, and I believe that's all I really did was add that star. It was 194 stitches. So, oh, that's not true. So there's also 2 more borders down at the bottom. So I started adding the next border. So I put in that also. I'm stitching this over 1 on 28 count Winter Creek by Rogue Stitching. It's a printed fabric, so it's printed on one side and then it's plain on the other side. And that's where I am on that. I'm not sure about this project. I like it and all, but I don't know. I'm gonna just keep plugging away at it. I'm not sure how I feel about it still. I mean, I put in over 500 stitches on it, so it, you know, I will keep moving on it. I just don't, there's certain elements of it that I'm just like, I don't know about that. Like the butterflies and all of that stuff, because it's winter garden. There's not butterflies in the winter, at least not where I'm at. So, but I'm gonna keep, I mean, it's a very pretty piece, don't get me wrong. So I need to, you know, get over whatever the butterfly issue is. So we'll see. I have, you know, I've met my goal on it, and so now I can put it away and rethink about it another day. The next project that I worked on was for the theme for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, and the theme for the challenge was or the theme for the month of June was Candy Shop. And so I chose to stitch on Candy Cane Shoe by Boothy Threads. This project was started because my friend Ymir is a runner, and she was running a race, and so we all decided to, there's a group of us that follow her, and we decided to start a shoe project for her run when she runs. And here's a picture of where I was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So let me fold this down like this. So here's where I am now with it. I added 242 stitches to this project. My goal was to add 200 stitches. And I literally added all from here. All of this yellow was added, this was added, this red was added, and all the green that you see. And there's like 4 shades of green in there. And I was trying to look at the picture and see about where I am. And I can't tell. At first I thought I was like right here, but I still can't tell yet. So I'm gonna just keep plugging away at it until I figure out where, you know, when I start seeing where it goes to, because of all of the different shading and all of the little motifs. I know I'm not here. I think I'm right here actually. But once the back stitching goes in, I'll be able to tell even better. I was trying to decide, should I back stitch the piece as I go, but Boothy Threads charts, which I'm using the entire kit, so the fabric is a 16 count. 16? Yes, because I'm using 2 threads. Boothy thread kits come with everything that you need, including the sparkly threads. Anyway, everything, you get everything in the kit. including the fabric. But what is really nice also about the kit is that it gives you separate instructions for the back stitching. So I decided, no, I'm not going to be back and forth between two different charts. I'm just going to do the shoe part, and then I'll do the back stitching part as I go along. So that is where I was on the theme. So I met all of my goals. Well, one more. So then I needed to still put in, like, I thought it was 59 stitches. As it turned out, it was 159 stitches still to meet my monthly goal on Put a Bird on It. And my monthly goal for Put a Bird on It is at least 1,100 stitches. I ended up adding 1,200 and something for the month. 1,203 stitches for the entire month, which is really good. It's keeping me on track. Like, I want to make sure that I'm staying on track with Put a Bird on It, and doing that has allowed me to, you know, breaking it down and adding those extra 100 or so stitches is keeping me on track. So here is Put a Bird on It. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And I still have it in the Nerd hoop because I am still working on Big Blue. But here is where I am now. I worked on this corner here. So this motif is new, both the flowers are new, and this motif is new. I had some of this in already. So now I need to work on this quadrant here, and I'll have Big Blue completed. I'm hoping to, not hoping, I need to have Big Blue finished by the end of July so that I stay on track. We will be having our Zoom stitching tomorrow, even though it's the 4th of July, so it'll be good to start working on this. I usually try to put in 200 stitches on the Zoom call so that I can have a good movement ahead of time for it. I am stitching this on a 46 count oyster shell by Fox and Rabbit, and I am using Cottage Garden Threads LaSalle as the floss for it. And it is coming along nicely. It'll be good to start working on some of the other pieces and parts down the side. So that is where I stand with that. And those are all of the whips that I have for June. Now I do have 2 July whips that I'm going to share with you. I had initially planned on doing this video on the 31st, or the 31st, the 30th, or the 1st, maybe the 30th, I don't know. Yeah, I had planned on doing it on the 30th, but it just didn't work out for me that way. So those are my June whips that I just shared with you. So now I'm going to share my July whips. I also, part of what you saw for the my 100 stitch project, Colors of the Season Summer, I did work on it the 1st and the 2nd. I haven't worked on it yet today for the 3rd, but I will be working on that soon. So for the Sammy J Whippagories, I follow that, and Sammy J is on Instagram and YouTube, and she shares with us what the Whippagories are for the month. And one of the Whippagories for this month is has borders. I'll be sharing the rest of them as I go through my plans for the month of July. But I worked on the first one, which has borders, and it is Spring Fling by Blackbird Designs. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I added, I gotta pull my boards back out. I'm starting to pack to go home. So some of the stuff is packed away, but I gotta pull some stuff back out. So I brought the border down a little bit more. I'm gonna work this border as I go down. I put in the tulip right here and this star or whatever that motif is right there. That is a total of 269 stitches. So my goal for this project has been met for the month. That doesn't mean that I won't stitch on it again. It just means that I don't have to. I've met the 200 stitch goal. So there is where that is. This is being stitched on a 16 count water lily, and I'm using the called for Gentle Arts threads for it. So it is a nice piece. I put in, it's going to be a really nice piece when I get, you know, as I work along with it. I'm going to work the border as I go so that I stay on track with it. So and the other project that I worked on for July was actually my Whip Go number. So for Whip Go, the number 2 was called, and my number 2 is the letter U. And U stands for umbrella. And so I worked on Current Mood, which is in the, oh, I didn't put down. Oh, it's by Stitchy Fish Designs, and it was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine for the spring 2024. And here's a picture of where it was when I last shared it with you. And here is where it is now. So I added almost all of the black. Matter of fact, I think I have added all of the black. I do have some quarter stitches that need to be added here and there in the black, but all of the lady is 98% completed. I just need to add the quarter stitches, and I need to add the strap right here for her purse. If you recall me showing this project in the past, I am using a different purple thread for every one of the rain that is falling down. So that's why it all looks so different. They use different colors, but they use more jewel tones, and I decided to make it purple rain. I added 301 stitches to this yesterday. So that is all of the black in the umbrella and all just about all of the black in here. I had done some outlining so that I would know exactly where to put those stitches at. So it was pretty easy. I listened to a book yesterday and just stitched, which worked out really well because I was able to just add, 300 stitches, which was great. great progress on that. I still have another 200 stitches to go on it because it is my Whip Go project. I put in 500 stitches in my Whip Go projects, so I will be adding more to that. So those were all of my whips for June and the first couple of days of July. Again, I do have plans, but I wanted to show you, and I left it sitting over there, so give me 1 second and I'm going to pause you. Okay, last video I shared with you that I had 2 finishes, and then as I was looking at one of them, City Sidewalks, I noticed that I had missed some stitches. So I added those 17 stitches, which were right here on this building. And so now it is completely finished. And I do believe I'm going to have this made into one of those block, either a block or a stand-up. A block finish or a stand-up finish. But it is completely finished. I just missed 17 stitches, which I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. So I did get it finished in the month of June. Okay, so now for my July plans. July is going to be very busy. I am next week. I am going to a sewing retreat for the first time in a long time, and I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm going to be going to visit friends, and I'm looking forward to that. So it'll be like back-to-back weeks that I'll be traveling. So this might be, you know, it'll be a couple of weeks before you see me again, I'm sure, unless I can slide in a Flosstube while between trips. But literally, there's like 3 days between one trip and the next trip. So I don't know, but it's fun. And right now, you know, I don't have any responsibilities, and so I'm enjoying my life. So for the July Whippagories, and again, Whippagories is the brainchild of Sammy J Stitches here on Flosstube and Instagram. And she chooses 5 categories every month, and she posts those, and I follow along with that. And the first one you've already saw was Has Border, and I chose Spring Fling for that. The next category is Small, and for the small I chose to work on Petite Cousette, which is by Hobby House Press. I started this last year after I visited Hobby House. And here is where I think I can finally cut this fabric down. Here's where I'm at on that right now. I chose to use overdye fibers on this project. And there's where I'm at now with it. So it'll be, it might be really close to a finish when I put the next 200 stitches in. So it might be a finish in July maybe, which would be great. Move my water out the way. The next category is More Than 30 Colors. And for my More Than 30 Colors, I chose 324 by Works by ABC. And here is where I am on that. I'm stitching this over 1 on 25 count. So there's where I am on that. I hope I have. The next category is full coverage, and my full coverage that I chose was Purple Rain. It is time for me to get over my mental block with Purple Rain and to start stitching on him again. And so this is what the picture looks like. And here is where it is right now. I normally do Tour de France in July for this project. It is in full coverage Fanatics Facebook group. However, this year with the traveling, the packing, and moving back to Ohio, I have decided not to do Tour de France. And I still have a goal of 5,000 stitches in this project. I think I need 2,000 more stitches. I'm not sure. I need to count it up and see where I'm at. But there is where it is right now. So at least for the month of July, it'll get another 200 stitches. I am going to probably work a lot on the ninja stitches, or the, I call them ninja stitches, but they're called something else too. Anyway, the so that I can start filling that in. When I started that project, I, was all over the place, but anyway. And the fifth category is Stitcher's Choice, and my Stitcher's Choice is Frosty Tiny Town. And here is where it is now. So I have a lot to do on this. I do not believe that I've worked on this since I started it. And if I have worked on it, it was very little. Okay, so for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge, I have not pulled a theme yet. I could use Frosty Tiny Town because the theme is bundled up, but I haven't made that decision yet, so I haven't chosen a theme project just yet for it. But the acrostic is Woolies, W-O-O-L-I-E-S. So for the W, where is it? Oh, here it is. For the W, I've chosen Cardinal Wreath by Tiny Modernist. And here's where I am on this project. So I still have quite a bit of the wreath to go. The cardinal is all complete except for that one little stitch right there. And then I need to put in the rest of the ornaments and then finish off the wreath. So this project will get 200 stitches. And I'm not sure where it will stand. I don't think 200 stitches is going to finish this project though. So we'll see. We'll see how close we get. The next, oh, and I didn't pull it, but I'll pull it because it's actually packed right now. Is the second letter is the letter O, and for that I'm using the word ornament, and I'll be working on my Mill Hill Cancer, Zodiac Cancer for my daughter's birthday, which will be actually Monday. The second letter O is oyster shell, and that stands for put a bird on it, Sal. So I'll be working on, I'll be putting 200 stitches. I'm double dipping with put a bird on it. And then the next project that I'll be working on is for the letter L, and the letter L is Lori Holt. And I will be working on kaleidoscope. Sorry, I thought I had this. And here's what it looks like. And here's where I am on it right now. So I still have I still have 2.5 quadrants to go on it. This is on my year of whips, so I really need to put some focus in on it, and see if I can't get this finished by the end of the year. And the next, the next project is the letter I, and that for me is ink circles. So I will be pulling out Garden of Zig. And here is where I am with that. I need to decide what I'm going to take with me on my travels. On the quilting one, I'm not taking very much cross stitch at all. However, on the other trip where I'm going to visit a friend, I can take, I'm driving, so I'll be able to take as much as I want to. So the letter E is the next letter, and for me, that is Emily Call, and I will be stitching on I Am Brave. And here is where that is. I think that's right. I'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure that's it. So that's where I am with I Am Brave. And the next, for the letter S in Woolies, it is, I need a better project bag for you, so I need to leave you out, is Salty Stitcher Designs. And for that, I will be stitching on Dr. Maya Angelou. And I'll be working on the words. I'm going to make sure that I can get all the words in before I continue putting in the rest of the flower border. So that's where I am on that. So for my So those are the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge projects. You already saw my Whip Go number 2, which is the letter U for me. And the second Whip Go number was, Whip Go is by Jessie Marie here on Flosstube and Instagram. Jessie Marie does stuff. She pulls 2 numbers every month, unless the number 13 is called, and then she chooses 3 numbers. And for the letter F, I'm pulling back out Sunflower Fairy. I have been Sunflower Fairy a little discouraged. Oh shoot. But here's what it looks like. And here is where I am. If you recall, I ended up taking out her head and neck. And now I have to put it back in over 1 on 28 count. This is also on my year of whips, and I need to also bead this project. So I need to get those, the head and the neck put back in so that I can do the beading. I also need to order the beads for it. I need to find out what the beads are for it. So those are my plans for the month of July. I decided not to do Christmas in July. I don't have a lot of, I have some Christmas projects down here, just not a lot. And so I just decided that I would not really do Christmas in July. Because I don't really need to be starting new projects right now, with me trying to get ready to go back to Columbus. I need to, you know, do some focusing on what I need to get done here. So I do not have any investments this time. I am trying to be more be a better steward over my funds. So right now I'm just in a holding pattern. All of the Fabric of the Month club that I'm in, which is Color and Cotton, is all still being shipped to my house in Columbus. So you won't see it because I've been getting Fabric of the Month ever since I've been down here. So and then I'm still in the Floss Fix and Floss Fancy clubs through the Fat Quarter Shop for the threads, Classic Color Works and Weeks Dye Works. But again, those are in Columbus. So that's about it. I hope you all are staying cool. It has been excruciating warm, hot, very hot down here. It's been in the hundreds consecutive days on end. So please make sure that you are checking on your elderly, friends and family, and make sure you are staying hydrated and not having long-term exposure. I know I've heard that there's other parts of the country that are experiencing this heat wave also. So please make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. And I know that it'll be at least probably 2 weeks before I'll be back again, but I hope you all take good care of yourselves. And again, I'll talk to you later. Bye.